guy
So,
came
but
2 points from winning, being down 110
be 100
points.
something. I mean, it was an epic comeback.
That's
Yeah.
what it wasn't like he was toe to toe all season.
No, that was an epic comeback, and once they figured the car out, but
Welcome to the Paddock F1 with Greeny and The Cheese. We're caffeinated, we're medicated. It's a podcast by fans for fans. Your dose of F1 news. All the races, all the tracks, and all the drama. Coming up on today's show.
Yes. I know what that sound means. Time for In the Paddock F1, Greeny and The Cheese. That is right. We have reached it. The finale of the 2025 F1 season. 1,444 laps, 7,313 kilometers, or 4,544 miles raced. We finally reached this for the 17th time as the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Abu Dhabi home to 1.5 million people, the capital of the United Arab Emirates. And while you're there, you might want to check out a desert safari. Maybe you check out and maybe you'll see a sandworm out there. And of course, you got to go check it.
Sandworms out there. Don't worry.
Maybe you want to go hang out at Buds and the Gang at Warner Brothers World, or of course you got to make a stop at Ferrari World. This ain't no travel show. This is an F1 show racing the Yas Marina Circuit. 3.28 miles, 16 corners, 2 DRS zones. You get with the full beans for 65% of your lap, and we got a little finale there, boys and girls. Max was on pole. Lando was next door. Oscar right behind. Top 3. 1, 2, 3. We got a little strategy. We got a little excitement. Got a little dicey there for a minute there early. But Max takes the win. Lando second. Oscar finishes out. Oscar was second. Lando finishes out the podium. And by doing so, Lando becomes the 35th driver to win the Formula One Drivers' Championship.
Congratulations.
By just 2 damn points.
Doesn't matter if it's 220 or 100.
We are caffeinated. We are medicated. Greeny, good day, sir. And yes, congratulations to Lando Norris.
It's a great day for our fans over the pond in the UK as well, bringing that F1 title home for the first time since Lewis Hamilton. It's a great day for McLaren, their first World Drivers' Championship since the aforementioned Lewis Hamilton in 2008. And just a whole bunch of good vibes, a whole bunch of end of an era vibes today. I don't know if we're really going to feel it until next season starts up. And I think we're not going to feel it until, preseason weeks leading up. No more Renault as we talked about. No more Yuki Tsunoda. No more Sauber.
And we'll get to the goodbyes later in the show. We'll get to
all that, but it's a big change day. But let's get the number one thing is that Lando Norris brings it home. He's not crying, you're crying. Because bringing it home, and I don't know, the guy only led a couple of weeks of the season. Oscar Piastri led 15 of the 30 of the 24 legs of the season, and it really was not Lando's season for a long time. And now you got to look back, a 2-point finish, a 2-point win. So you got to look back at Red Bull's entire season, especially the beginning of their season, and where they missed out on some easy points that they kind of neglected, that they kind of didn't look at, and now it comes back to kick you in the ass when you look at 2 points. And how is that 2 points going to haunt you? I know Max played it as cool as possible, and he was as happy as possible for Lando Norris in the post-race. And then he said all the right things. Max Verstappen, you got to give it up for him for saying all the right things after winning today, but just falling short of that title.
I actually don't think Max really cares.
I think he does. I think he does.
I really don't think he does, to be honest. I don't really. He's got 4. After he won the first one, I think that was, he filled that dream. And Max just doesn't seem like that kind of person, to be honest. I mean, he also knew going in he would need probably a little luck at some point to get that
podium.
To get the So, and they also had he even said they're probably going to be the quicker car as well. I mean, he drove a phenomenal race. He did everything he had to do to try and win the title, but he also needed, McLaren to falter a bit, and that didn't happen. So I think going into the race, he knew that as well. I mean, Max could walk away tomorrow and be totally fine with it and go race, endurance racing, which, he already proved this year he's the best damn driver on the planet by almost winning his 5th, F1 driver's title in a row and going over to endurance racing and winning that. So,
guy came 2 points from winning, being down 110 points.
It was an epic comeback.
That's what it wasn't like he was toe to toe all season.
No, that was an epic comeback, and once they figured the car out. But let's give it up to Lando Norris. We talked about early in the season. We were both saying that maybe he didn't have the goods. He did a little soul searching there, and he's got the goods. Proved he could do it. He didn't buckle under the pressure. He could have. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, other things could have happened. But if Ferrari was a better car this year, does Leclerc, possibly pass him and take the title away there? But that didn't happen. He did what he had to do. He finished on the podium. I was a little surprised with Oscar passing at the start there, to be honest. I'm sure that made things a little bit more nerve-wracking for those on the McLaren pit wall, especially with Leclerc hanging there for a little bit at the start.
For a little bit. Yeah, no, Lando Norris, after that pass, was one oversteer away for a while from having Leclerc potentially pass him and ending. Yeah. He really was like a single oversteer, or as you saw the whole weekend, Lando putting it in 110% there. He could have had an off-track penalty. A lot of drivers. I don't know if anyone actually officially got a 5-second penalty at the end of the race, but a lot of drivers were close. A lot of black and white flags.
They were handing out penalties. They were handing out penalties a lot there late. They started giving out penalties that they haven't really been given after they gave Yuki that penalty that he got for,
sorry about that,
playing the team game and Lando passing him around the off track a bit there. But if they would have gave Lando a penalty there, that would have brought all kinds of tin hat conspiracy theories out.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, but he was. There was a lot of black and white flags coming out. There was a lot of potential for anyone to get a 5-second penalty there. And, I think he finished, 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Leclerc.
Oh, yeah, at the end there, I think they were just, cashing it in.
Yeah, those rear tires were just shredding by the end of that race for everyone.
So, but yeah, and just Lando winning the title's enormous to get that that monkey now off his back, and after last year, and McLaren getting it off their back too, because as you know, in the past, McLaren has spit the bit in these situations. Even going back to, what was that, 07 when they lost the title by 1 point when Kimi won the driver's title, when they spit the bit there at the end of the season. So, it definitely gets the monkey off McLaren's back for losing titles there at the end because they also did it in in other years as well. So, but Lando getting that and just absolutely, and he earned it. He earned it today too. He made those passes when he came out of that stop, and he had to make some passes. I mean, making the double passes here and there, and just moving up through the field where he had to. He didn't just get those spots. He earned the podium because he could have not have had that spot because Ferrari definitely put him on the back foot there when they made their stop at that point and forcing McLaren to make that stop with Lando and having Lando actually coming before they were even thinking about bringing in Piastri at some point. So, I mean, that was huge that they had to do the cover up. So McLaren made the right calls.
Mm-hmm.
Lando earned it, which is is what you want as a driver, and didn't just back into it. And he earned the driver's title. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lando Norris. And I think, listen, if Lando had already won a title last year, which he could have. He could have. McLaren was the best team last year. We forget that it was back-to-back constructors titles sometimes for McLaren here. And Red Bull did not win the constructors title last year. So, but I think, listen, going back to Max Verstappen for a moment, I think the last 3 months here and Lauren Meeks and the new regime coming in, I think has sealed Max Verstappen with potentially, if he stays in Formula One, which I'm assuming he will, at least for the next couple of years. Let's see what this new era brings. That there's definitely a lot of success and that he was on the fence, maybe had 1 foot out the door, at least 1 toe out the door at Red Bull. At minimum, Max Verstappen did. And it looks like over the last few months, he might be a Formula One Red Bull driver for his entire career from what happened. And I think the changeover saved Red Bull and is going to keep Max on the team.
He definitely
big time.
Mecky's definitely saved that ship. Making that change and Mecky's coming in because they were losing people left and right. A lot of big names were leaving the team in big spots. So with Horner there, they made the change and he definitely steadied the ship. You definitely don't see the people running out of Red Bull at this point. Max definitely is now more of a leader in the whole organization, and he's showing that. So it's definitely huge. But it's McLaren and Lando's day. Let's be real.
Absolutely. It's Lando Norris's day. It's McLaren's day. It's everyone in McLaren. Starts with Zach Brown and works your way all the way down. As hard work as they put in. Listen, going back to last year, they didn't win a constructors title since '98 until last year. McLaren as a team, they were persona non grata. They won like 1 race when Danny Ricciardo won in 2021 with McLaren. That was like the first time in like a decade they had even won a race at all. Yeah. And that was only 4 years ago. So they went from like not winning 1 race in a decade to winning back-to-back constructors and now the drivers' championship. Give it up to McLaren. That's a massive turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
It's massive.
100%.
And especially given everything Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari. This is a massive uphill battle for McLaren. And they did it. And they did it. And the Zach Brown era of McLaren is just proven unbelievable success. And keep it going, man. And we'll see what happens in 2026. But party on, Lando. Party on. Till the break of dawn. How to be young and rich. All right, any final words before we strap on our helmet here? Take a lap around ourselves in Quizmaster's Cockpit, sir.
Congratulations, Lando.
Congratulations, Lando. All right, let's get into it. We have my least favorite segment of the week, but you're gonna hit it with me every single time, and that is Quizmaster's Cockpit. We have 1 lap around, which means 3 questions, 3 sectors. If I get them all right, Cheese, we're going to go right into our winners of the week. If I get just one wrong, we're going to go right into losers because I get a big L across my forehead. You know, one out of 3 right, or even 2 out of 3 right's a failing grade. But if I happen to get all 3 wrong, if you happen to completely stump me, we're going to go right into slap as I slap myself in the face. And then we're going to hand out a slap to someone on the grid today.
Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. Give me at least, I'm going to just get at least 1 right for the finale here.
I think you're actually going to win this week, but...
All right, which means I'm definitely going to lose. So go.
Question number 1, sir. Including today, how many different drivers have won the Formula One driver's title?
Oh.
I said it earlier in the program.
Others say how many different drivers have won at Abu Dhabi. I wouldn't have gotten that one off the top of my head. I think it's 35. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
35th different driver. What a ring of people to be in, you know?
Yeah.
And if you win 2, then you just get into a really elite circle.
Freaking literally. Question number 2, sir. At Abu Dhabi, this driver overcame a 15-point deficit to win the driver's title in 2010.
That would be Sebastian Vettel.
That is correct, sir.
Came from behind. I believe out of the 7 times someone's gone into the last race, they have come from behind. I think this is the first time they haven't come from behind to win a championship.
That might be right.
If there is a situation where where it was within, I think, 15 points or whatever it was going to the final race.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not the last question. Hopefully I didn't steal your thunder, sir. But go ahead.
No, that is not the last question. We need some suspense music, though.
Oh, shit. How did I forget? Sweat.
Question number 3,
down.
sir. Can you win the season?
Season finale intensity.
The season finale. Can you finish the season off with a W? With a hot lap of purple, purple, purple?
That would be something.
Can you not blow up the board? We'll see. Question number 3. When was the first Formula One Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi?
That was 2009.
That is
also
correct,
won by
sir.
Sebastian Vettel.
That
in
is
09,
correct.
He went back to open up Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that is correct, sir.
It took me many years of studying and working to get through every single one of your gauntlets every single week. I never know what to expect. This was a little. You went a little soft for the last.
I went a little soft
one
for the
here,
finale. I went a little soft.
A little soft. But either way, it's been a heck of a season in Quizmaster's Cockpit. I definitely had the best season I've ever had in Quizmaster's Cockpit, and the questions got harder as well. So I had to really hit the books this year. I was up for the challenge, so I'm proud of myself. I would say B- overall for the year would be a fair grade, maybe 80%, probably around there. So I have to come out.
I had some hard questions in there.
You got some tough questions? Some I got.
Yeah.
Most I did.
Yeah.
The tough ones. But gonna have to come back harder next year.
Well, you were a winner chicken dinner. That's a purple.
How about that? I do not have to blow up the board. And for anyone watching on YouTube who gets to watch that every week, I'm so excited.
Disappointed when the board doesn't blow up because I always enjoy the blow up of the board
on YouTube and switch it up.
We're gonna go right to winners then.
Go for it.
I am giving it to the drivers at Ferrari for getting a double top 10 with the mess that they had.
Mm-hmm.
The car's just junk, and 2 great performances. Leclerc, great performance. Lewis coming from the back. The car was not a good qualifying car. It was the better race car this season. But give it up to both of them. Double points. Probably shouldn't have happened, because that car's trash, but just give it up to the drivers at Ferrari. We'll have it there in the goodbye section, but also just the Hulk getting Sauber points in the final race as a Sauber. So, and the Hulk getting points as well. Again, give it up to the Hulk. Getting the points. Those will be my winners.
Uh, it's a good slate. I appreciate you leaving me at least one of my Haas here. I'm sorry, I was half paying attention here to you, but you went with Ferrari and the Hulk. You know, I'd always love to give Lance Stroll for his 1 point, but I'm definitely looking at. Listen, number one. Yeah, I know Aston Martin screwed us a little bit here towards the end, as far as us Haas fans, all 10 of us go. But you got to give it up for Fernando Alonso.
Heck yeah.
We're going to mention both of the 40-plussers here, and Lewis and Fernando, for finishing the season strong. I don't think people understand what it takes when you have a triple header like this. You are not stopping. And when you are the age, in your mid-40s, when you are nonstop for weeks, you start in Vegas, which is a whole trip itself, and then you go to the Middle East, and you're there for 2 weeks in the heat, constantly in the heat, constantly on the track, constantly being bombarded with interviews, and still able to finish the season strong. We saw the opposite with the youngsters, who all struggled the last couple weeks, which we'll get to in a moment. Yeah. But you got to give it up to Fernando Alonso, and maybe I'll throw a little bit for the double points for Aston Martin as a whole. And Esteban Ocon held on, man. You know, he held on. He held off Lewis as well. I was like, Lewis is definitely going to finish sixth here, and potentially pass just not Ocon, but Alonso. But Ocon held him off. And if I think Lewis got past Ocon, he could have got past Fernando Alonso if he got back past Ocon early enough. But Ocon held him off. It's always amazing watching a Haas hold off a Ferrari at any time, especially over multiple laps. So, not the most pleasing thing for you. I know that. You know, you should be smoking a Haas if you're a Ferrari. But held him off, got the points. You know, Ollie was looking decent for a while. Looked like they were going to get a double podium, double points there weekend. Not double podium. I'm not smoking rock yet. But. Those are my winners. I definitely had to give an honorable mention, not just George Russell today. I know he finished fifth, but really for the whole season, George Russell's whole season, Mercedes definitely was not 100% on their game as far as the mechanical side of things. And he had a heck of a year, and I think expect a lot from George Russell next year. I expect a lot from George Russell. Those are my winners, which takes us into losers.
Racing Bull, 17th, 18th.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on definitely an upward swing there, but that was just a bad way to end the season. That was kind of a mess, especially where they started the races too. So things just went all wrong for them all day. So definitely got to put them in the losers. Albon again, 16th, just an absolute disaster down the stretch here for Alex to end the season.
Persona non grata.
For damn sure.
Persona non grata. Didn't even barely hear his name mentioned over the last month of the season. And what a fall off, because he always got some time. He always got some mention of Albon's performance. You never went months without hearing Alex Albon's name or being talked about, and he's just going in the wrong direction, especially when his teammate
is going the other direction.
Podiums going the other way a lot of times. So, definitely disappointing. I agree there.
Those will be my losers.
All right. Listen, number one, I don't care what anyone says. What Yuki Tsunoda did not make Zach Brown happy. I'll tell you that much. And he is out the door. I think it was a borderline shady thing. I think 100% Yuki was sent out there to take Lando out, and they timed the pit stop just so he can go take him out there. And I'm gonna give Red Bull a little bit of a loss there too, because I know you're saying that's racing, and it is racing, but I can still give him a big L there, especially Yuki's. Give his whole season an L. That just.
This wasn't like Schumacher. This wasn't like Schumacher back in the day when he wrecked his rival. Like, so
But that was a different time, and there were safeguards put in place, and there were rules changed and put in place. There were Schumacher rules that you couldn't do that anymore, and the rules were changed, and they are changed. That was a generation ago, man. Mm-hmm. Come on, old man. That was a long time ago.
I know this. That's it's team game.
In baseball, you used to throw 90 mile an hour fastballs at your face just to shut you up. You know?
Still do.
Still do.
You just get thrown out now.
But you get tossed out of the game. You used to throw a ball at a guy's head 90 miles an hour. You used to have a full-out brawl and then go back and just play as if nothing happened. So
McLaren knew something like that was probably going to happen because they were going to use Yuki any way they could at that.
100%. They knew.
So,
They knew it was coming.
I don't think he deserved the penalty, but that's fine if you want to throw him there. I understand.
It doesn't matter. Yuki's career's over, and but that was a career loss there, loss gone for him. And listen, I know it was tough down the stretch, but for all these teams, and it showed big time. Kimi Antonelli as well, especially with how that car was driving. Kimi really had a rough back end of the season. I know he had a couple of peaks in the back end of the season, but Kimi just had a terrible fall overall, and probably learned a lot. Absolutely learned a lot. I think he's going to come back really strong. I think Mercedes as a whole is going to come back really strong next year and be much more competitive. But Kimi Antonelli just another rough weekend for him, and the car he's definitely not outperforming the car. He's underperforming in that vehicle.
Well, he struggled down the second half a bit there, but he definitely was on the upward swing here at the end. So, I would have been my losers if I was thinking about putting him in my losers as well. Just it's a bad finish to the way he's been driving recently. So it's just a bad way to end the season. So I would have had him in the losers as well.
It's rookie stuff, and I think again he's gonna come back really strong next year. I think Ali Bearman and Kimi Antonelli are both going to be really, really, really strong competitive drivers next year. I think they learn just so much when you get so much internal data, and you're just that good. Both those drivers are just that good. You're just just got your license, to drive on a road 2 years ago. So, we're dealing with teenagers. So I think they learned a ton. I think a lot of these drivers learned a ton. Gabriel Bortoleto as well. I think he's going to be really someone to watch going forward. But it's a lot with the teenagers. But definitely losers down the stretch for them. But that was a long, rough season, 24 races. And they just were learning a ton. And they're going to take it all into next year. And I think F1's definitely going on the upswing with these kids, for sure. All right. Oh, I apologize because we do have one more thing to talk about.
I need to slap my goddamn for that.
And that is the slap of the week, maybe the slap of the year. You want to get into it, sir?
It's got to be Alpine, man. Just disaster. Just a disastrous season. Still don't even have a named team principal at this point for next season, so just have the temporary in there with Flavio. So car was good, just bad. I mean, they even were thrown in the towel. Even the drivers were getting penalties and things at the end of the season here, especially today. So one driver, the only driver in for any team that didn't actually make it to Q3 with Colapinto for the season. Just an absolutely horrid year. The car didn't really progress much. They were pretty much at the back for most of it. Just an awful, awful season. Awful.
Yeah, Franco Colapinto, the only driver to not have any points, and he replaced Jack Doohan, who also had 0 points. Only driver. Second to last driver in points overall, which is pretty amazing, is Gabriel Bortoleto, who finished second to last. Pierre Gasly finished ahead of him. Had 19 points. So I would say pretty impressive. 19 points there for second to last, and very unimpressive, 0. So when your next rival has 19 and you have 0, that's a rough season for you, especially you raced every race. 24 races and 3 sprints, or 6, what do we have, 6 sprints this year?
I mean, he didn't race every year because he took over Duhan's seat. So he missed,
that's right.
the first 2 years. But
I
don't think that really would have made that much of a difference.
It wouldn't have made any difference.
The car was just garbage. So, I mean, for Gasly to score that many points as he did was pretty damn impressive for what he did in that car, for it being as we say here in the States, a shitbox, to be honest. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Alpine finished with a total of 22 points. 100% of those were Pierre Gasly. Sauber finished 9th with 70. Oh, and congratulations for Haas for the meltdown down the stretch, as they were poised to potentially finish 6th, and they finished the season in 8th. So slap yourself as well, Haas, there for down the stretch collapse. Because... I was licking my chops. 13 points out of 6th.
That is a lot of points. That is a lot of points
money.
Down
a lot of money
compared to your competitor too to finish. So
it's a lot of money.
That is just an awful damn season for Alpine. So get out there, we're in the desert, get a little sand, and slap your damn self for that season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yes. Damn good sound of the week. We head to that fantasy island.
To the top.
One more time. One more time. We take that fantasy ride to the fantasy island of Green Tub. Where the beer flows like wine, the wine flows like beer, and that cannabis, oh yes, my friends, that cannabis grows as flavors you guys can see. Look at it out there. Green and luscious. Take a little whiff. Oh, doggies. That air smells fancy. Take a little walk to the top of the hill, because it is the top. Take us in hand. Not a good weekend for us.
Are
we catching it or are we checking out?
Not a good season. We started off weak. We had a nice, strong middle where we made up a lot of Greeny Bucks. We were down about 40% of our stack. By the way, we started with 5,500 Greeny Bucks apiece. 5,000 to be able to spend throughout the season, and another 500 for our preseason bets. We tabulated all that up. Max Verstappen plus 300 to win it all. That didn't pan out for either of us. You had Lewis Hamilton winning it all. You can check out all of that in our special episode, which we put out this past Thursday, the special Greeny Bucks episode. We also talked about, Red Bull and Yuki Tsunoda and Isaac Hadjar and all that good stuff. So check out that episode if you missed it on Thursday. But yeah, we went over all of our preseason bets. The one thing you had going for your cheese was a possibility that Ferrari could have taken the fastest pit stop of the season, which would have been plus 750. But you didn't hit that. So how do you think you finished this? You do not know who won right now, by the way.
No.
You don't know. So I'm going to reveal that in a moment because we had a lot of pluses and minuses and readjusting here. But what are your final thoughts on the Greeny Bucks season before I reveal the final numbers?
It's just not a good year. Not a good year for an overall. We usually end up doing a lot better than this, but did not happen this year.
Yeah, first season
the boards were kind of rubbish for a lot of the season too. I'll say that as much too. There was a lot of rough boards, so these things happen.
First season that the winner is going to finish at an overall loss. All right, let's go through the bets of this past week. As I was up 200 Greeny Bucks. You dropped the dime this week and dropped 400 Greeny Bucks, 100 Greeny Bucks.
I did. I went a little wild.
You went a little wild. Let's see if that wildness pays off. I had Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Piastri plus 300 in the trifecta. That didn't pan out. Sainz top 10, Yuki top 10. I don't know what I was thinking about that. Lando Norris for the win, plus 300. All losers. You had also Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, plus 300 straight. You had Sainz top 10. You had Isaac Hadjar top 6, plus 450, which wasn't the worst bet, but all those were losers at 100 apiece. But then you had... I'm sorry, I'm adding up the final numbers here, as you did win one bet, but it was an overall loss, plus 175 on Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, which netted you back 275, so a 125 Greeny Buck loss on the day. All right, so you lost 125. I'm sorry, I'm still doing the math here. I started with 4,474 Greeny Bucks. I just lost straight up 200 Greeny Bucks, which put me at 4,274. So basically what I won with the McLaren plus 100 to win the Constructors, I just lost that right back, putting me right back to 4,274. But you, sir, could not put a winner up today. You went minus 125. You needed plus anything, basically. You needed plus anything. Yeah. So unfortunately, Cheese, we are basically both losers this year because we both finished about 15% loss. So if we were gambling real money, we would have taken a good 15% loss. We kept about 85% of our stack. So not good for either of us. But I am the winner. Me and Lando are going to pop some bottles of Dom Perignon tonight. Because we are both winners this season. I kind of backed into it, but I will take the win as we are now tied, Cheese, at 2 seasons apiece, which means the 2026 season will be massive here on In the Paddock F1 with Greeny and the Cheese. We're gonna may have to sit down and rethink our entire betting system, as we might have to really go at it head to head, blood on the floor for the 2026 season here.
Got pretty savage.
Pretty savage. This is gonna get savage. This is no joke. All right.
Well, we got one more thing to do here.
Go ahead. I apologize.
And it's not going to be in the news. We'll change it up here for the finale. It's going to be our goodbyes.
Goodbye. So long. Sayonara. Maybe shed a tear. Maybe not. Maybe not shed a tear for those leaving. Some good things leaving, maybe some bad things, or some upsetting things ending in Formula One. Some massive change that we will definitely feel in 2026. But before we get to that, we are going to be bringing you in the news and update segments every single weekend, all throughout the entire off season, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. So check those out. From over the weekend, every weekend between now and next season, as we're going to be coming at you. And without further ado, the so longs.
Say so long to Renault as an engine supplier since 1983.
It's a long time.
A couple years in there that they were, left the sport for seconds and then came back. But since they've been an engine supplier for a long damn time in Formula One. That will be no more. So long and goodbye to Renault. Mr. Sauber was there this weekend, which was nice to see. Hasn't really been there in a while. But Sauber is now leaving the sport. As we all know, they will become Audi. Mm-hmm. And since 1993, 32 years, 617 Grand Prix weekends, there was a Sauber on the F1 grid. Not no more. So goodbye to Sauber. Goodbye to Yuki, as he will now take over driver's reserve role at Red Bull and Racing Bulls. But so long to Yuki, no longer going to be officially on the F1 grid.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see Yuki on the grid again.
I don't really think so either myself, but you never know. Crazier things have happened.
He's living the dream. He gets paid to be a reserve practice test driver. You live in the dream. Come on, you're probably definitely top 5 drivers in Japanese history. I mean, you live in the dream.
So long and goodbye to the ground effects era. No more for this era of the car. Wasn't the longest era, but it is now. So long and farewell. I'm sure. I know a team like Mercedes is pretty happy about that because they didn't really. They struggled with this this era a little bit. So did Ferrari very much. So I'm sure they are very happy to see it.
Couple eras.
Well, they've struggled for a long damn time.
A few eras here.
Yep, and
they got to get into their winning era. That's the era they need to get into.
Yeah, they need to. They need to take. Don't even get me started there. And finally, goodbye to the DRS.
It's interesting. That's an interesting one. I don't know how you feel about that. I guess we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
How that looks. See how far drivers are we going to get these like long, huge, minute plus wins? Are we going to get that dominant driver that's going to be like lapping the field? Because they can't catch up on the straightaways, and they're going to whoever's in that lead. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look because it's been so long since we've had DRS and had that extra downforce on the especially on the straightaways. So
we'll see how it we'll see how it all shakes out because nobody knows what's going to happen with these new regs and new cars. So we'll see.
All right. So we got final send-offs here. Final send-offs. And first of all, thank you everyone who tuned in. We had our biggest season ever, and we're expecting 2026 to be even bigger, and we could not have done it without all of you. Sincerely. Absolute sincerely. We are amazed every time. We are thankful every day to have everyone who listens, and thank you all for tuning in, leaving comments, giving us feedback. We truly love you all, and we wouldn't exist without you. So, for one last time for the 2025 post-race season, say what you got to say, brother.
Thanks for listening throughout the year. As my friend here just said, hit that subscribe and like button. If you've made it this far and haven't done it yet, please do so. Helps us out more than you think. We got some ideas coming up for the new season, so see how it all goes. And we'll see you throughout the winter. And as always, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.
Coming live from the US of A. Podcast Groove. The boys bring you the F1 news. Everything you need, so you know just what to do. And it's all alright, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. Ferrari's gonna drive you crazy. Mad Max, he's so amazing. McLaren, Merc, and more. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. And they know their way around the track. When you need the facts, you can trust them. They won't steer you wrong. Always right on time. They know their way around a microphone. And it's all right, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese.